Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be learning some basic fundamentals of arm styling for Latin dancing. Before we get started with the arms, there are a few things that we need to understand about moving our bodies and how our arms will respond to that body movement. So we'll start with first understanding what our rib cage is doing, and then we will start to understand what the arms are to do every time we shift our weight. I'm so glad you joined me today. Before we get started, I just want to remind you to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel so that you can see more helpful videos like this one. Now let's get dancing. All right, so let's get started. As I said in the introduction of this video, before we start to move our arms, we need to understand how to move our rib cage in relationship to our weight shifting. So I want you to start with your feet in second position or about shoulder width apart, and we're going to just shift our weight back and forth between our right and our left foot. And as we do that, every time I shift my weight, I need to put the corresponding rib cage over the foot that I'm stepping onto. Yeah, so if I step onto my left foot, I'm moving my left rib over. And if I step onto my right, I'm moving my rib cage to the right, yeah? If this is difficult for you, I recommend that you go watch my Latin motion series, as it will help you understand a little bit better these movements in the body. But if you understand this already and it's working for you, then we can move on to moving our arms. So, as you can see, if my rib cage shifts to one side, my entire upper body goes with it, and that includes my arms. So our arms are always going to extend to the side that my rib cage is going. Yeah, so if I go to the right, my right arm is going to extend, and if I go to the left, my left arm is going to extend. Okay? Before we get there though, we're going to practice just moving the arm of one side of our body, and then we can work on coordinating the two together. So we're going to start with our right side. So I'm going to shift my weight like I was doing before, but I'm only going to move my right arm. And the way in which I'm going to move my arm is always leading with my elbow. So when my arm goes out, my elbow leads out, and when my arm comes in, my elbow leads the movement inward. As you can see, when I go out, I turn my palm over, so it's first facing away from me, and then I push outward. Then when I'm coming in, I turn my palm over so that it's facing the ceiling, and then I'm going to get the sensation of pulling inward. Now when we're moving our arms, we never want to cross our center line. So as you can see, when I move my arm, it stays on its own side. It's not going to come across, because what that does is hide my body. And what we're trying to do when we move our arms is accentuate the movement of our body. So we'll start with the right. I'm going to do this backing the camera so you can follow me. Using the right arm now, I'm going to go elbow out, push, flip, elbow in as I step onto my left. And as I step on the right, I flip it over, and I take the elbow out and then push with the hand. Then as I step on my left, I flip the palm over toward the ceiling and pull in. And I feel like my elbow is just coming into this natural curve that I have between my rib cage and my hip. And I switch, flip, go out, flip, come in. Flip with the rib cage, flip, come in. So the arm follows the rib, and out, and in. Now we're going to do the same thing, but using the left arm. So I'm going to start by stepping on my left foot. My rib cage goes to the left. My elbow goes out. My palm is facing away from me. And then I push out, flip, pull in. push out, flip, pull in, flip, push out, flip, pull in, flip, push out, always leading with the elbow. The other thing that we want to know about arm styling is most of the time our arms want to stay diagonally in front of us. There are times where we are creating the illusion of the arm being in front, but it's mostly created by rotation in my spine. It's not actually that I'm putting my arm behind me, because when I do that, I'll often get a very ugly and uncomfortable line in my arm. So as I'm moving outward with my arms, I want to be aware that I'm not moving behind me or even straight out to the side, but I am going diagonally forward. Because just like when I'm dancing with my partner, I'm keeping my hands in front of me all the time. Okay? So now we're going to try to coordinate both sides together. And what that means is, as one elbow is going out, the other one is coming in. Again, remembering that I'm not going to be crossing my body when I do this, and remembering that one palm starts facing out and the other one facing up. So if I'm to step on my right foot, I go push out, pull in, switch, push out, pull in, switch. So there's a moment here, once I've reached the limit of both of my movements, where I flip and then move. And I flip and move. And we want to try and move our arms at the same speed. A common error I see when we flip, we move one of the arms really quickly and the other one slowly, or we move them both to the extreme right away. When we flip, we want to be in an unfinished position so that we have somewhere to go. So I flip, and then I finish. Flip, finish. Flip, finish. Flip, finish. And this on its own is an exercise that you can do for a long time. The things that you want to continue to practice are making sure that you're coordinating the arms correctly. This can turn into weird things that we're not supposed to be doing very easily. So like with all things that I teach on this channel, I recommend that you do it slowly and that you really try to find all the parts of the movement before you try to speed it up. Really the only way to learn an intricate technique like arm styling or Latin motion or turns is to learn it slowly first and then gradually increase the speed once you're more comfortable with the movement. So I'm going to do this exercise where we alternate the arms facing away from the camera so you can follow me. I'll start with my right foot this time. So I'm going to go, my left elbow is going to pull in, my right elbow is going to push out. I go out, flip, making sure that your hands and elbows are in the right position, and push and pull, flip, 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 push and pull, and good. So once you have this down, we can also start to apply these movements to walking steps. It doesn't matter whether I'm walking forward or back or to the side. Whichever foot I'm stepping on, that same arm is going to be extending and the opposite arm is going to be coming in. So I want to practice this now walking forward. So if we start with our right foot, we're going to extend the right arm and pull the left arm in. And then I switch and step. One arm pushes out, one pulls in. Leading the movement with the elbows. Making sure that our hands are free of tension. That's another important part of this. Sometimes I see my students doing lovely arm movement with a claw. So we want to make sure that we have what's called human hands. If you're going to compete or do exhibitions, you can do a more stylized hand. If you're a woman or if you're a man, it would be here. But for social dancing, I really prefer to have my hands as relaxed as possible. My fingers will extend so that I get a nice line to finish my arm, but I definitely don't want to have claws or any variation of a claw. So we want to just relax the hand and keep it nice, the fingers nice and extended, but without holding tension. So now we're going to walk backwards. So I'll walk back toward the camera, again starting with our right. And our right arm is going to extend, our left elbow comes in. And switch. And switch, keeping the arms moving diagonally in front of you the whole time. As you can see, that helps me extend my back. If I put the arms behind me, you can see the tension that adds in my shoulder, and it doesn't allow me to really feel like this movement is coming from my rib cage, like I said in the beginning. So those are some great exercises to help you get started incorporating arm movements into your Latin dancing. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, keep dancing.